Imagine this, a 6-year-old girl, pink backpack on her shoulders, tiny white socks pulled up to her knees. She stands alone at a busy Tokyo train station, no parent next to her, no babysitter holding her hand, no adult watching from a distance. She walks up to the ticket machine, pays for her own ticket, boards a train packed with hundreds of strangers, rides for 20 minutes, gets off at the right stop, and walks the rest of the way to school. Alone, she is 6, and she does this every single day. Now stop, read that again, because in any Western country, what I just described would end with a knock at the door. Child services, police questioning, maybe even arrest. A mother in Texas was once handcuffed because her 10-year-old walked to a park by himself. In Japan, a 6-year-old riding the subway alone is so normal that nobody even turns to look. How is this possible? How can an entire country trust their smallest children with the kind of freedom we wouldn't give a 12-year-old? And more importantly, what do Japanese parents know that we don't? And by the way, before this video ends, I am going to share an ancient Japanese proverb that explains all of this. It is the secret that quietly raises the most independent children on earth. Stay until the end, because once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. Let me start with something that will shock you. There is a Japanese television show that has been running since 1991. It is called Hajimete no Otsukai, the First Errand. The premise is simple, but to a Western viewer, it is unbelievable. A parent gives their 2, 3, or 4-year-old child a small task. Go to the store, buy bread and milk, bring it home, that is it. The child walks out the door, sometimes crying, sometimes determined, and the cameras follow them in secret. The parent stays behind and waits. 2-year-olds, crossing streets, carrying coins in tiny fists, asking strangers for directions, falling down, getting up, coming home with the wrong item sometimes, but coming home. This show has aired for over 3 decades. Millions of Japanese families watch it, and nobody at all, calls it child abuse. Because in Japan, this is not abuse. This is education. Now wait. Before I tell you about the Western world, I need to share one number that will stop you cold. The rate of child kidnapping in Japan per year is almost 0. In the United States, it is 50 times higher. 50 times. The same act that lands an American parent in handcuffs is the act that Japanese parents quietly use to raise the strongest children on earth. So what is going on here? Why do Japanese children handle this kind of independence at ages when our children cannot even pick out their own clothes? The answer has nothing to do with the children. It has everything to do with the society around them. In Japan, there is an old idea that every child belongs to everyone. The shop owner watching you cross the street is not a stranger. The salaryman on the train is not a stranger. The grandmother sweeping her sidewalk is not a stranger. They are your community, and the community protects its children. This is not a poetic idea. This is real. Drivers are taught to watch for small children walking alone. Signs everywhere remind them. School zones have volunteer crossing guards, usually retired neighbors who do it for free, just to keep the kids safe. The entire country quietly agrees that every child is everyone's child. Now compare that to the world we live in. In most Western countries, we have taught children the opposite. Stranger danger. Do not talk to anyone you do not know. Do not trust adults. Stay close to your parents. We have raised an entire generation to view every unknown person as a potential threat. And we did it with the best intentions. We were trying to protect them. But here is the truth that nobody wants to admit. While caution is necessary, by teaching children to fear every stranger, we did not make them safer. We made them weaker. A child who fears the world cannot navigate it. A child who has never been trusted cannot trust themselves. A child whose every move is supervised by an adult never develops the inner voice that says, "I can do this. I can figure it out. I am capable." Let me tell you about a real woman. Her name is Sarah. She lives in Ohio. She has 2 daughters, 8 and 10. And 1 year ago, she did something terrifying. She let her 10-year-old walk to the corner store alone. 5 blocks, broad daylight. She watched from the window with her hands shaking. And when her daughter came back, milk in one hand, change in the other, something happened. The little girl's eyes were different. Bigger, brighter. She walked taller. She had grown up by 1 inch in 20 minutes, Sarah told me later. I had been so afraid of losing her to the world. I never realized I was losing her to the safety of my own house. That is what we are doing. We are loving our children into helplessness, and we do not even see it. The Japanese have a word for the inner strength that comes from being trusted. They call it Jiritsu, self-standing, the ability to stand on your own 2 feet in any situation, without panic, without freezing, without needing rescue. Japanese parents do not give their children this strength by telling them they are strong. They give it to them by letting them prove it. The 6-year-old on the train is not brave because someone told her she was brave. She is brave because at age 3, her mother sent her to buy tofu from the corner shop, and she did it. At age 4, she was sent to deliver a package to her grandmother 2 blocks away, and she did it. At age 5, she walked herself to the neighborhood park, played, and came home. And she did it. By the time she boards that train at 6, her brain has built 1,000 small proofs that she can handle the world. Meanwhile, in the West, we drive our children everywhere. We hover at the playground. We do their homework with them. We solve their friendship problems for them. We negotiate with their teachers for them. We protect them from every small failure. And then we wonder why our teenagers cannot order their own coffee, why our young adults are paralyzed by simple decisions, why anxiety in our youth has skyrocketed to levels never seen before in human history. The data is brutal. Anxiety disorders in American teenagers have nearly tripled since 2007. Suicide rates among young people climb every year. Therapists report a flood of young adults who have never been alone with their own thoughts, who cannot handle disappointment, who cannot tolerate boredom, who fall apart at the first sign of difficulty. And we keep blaming social media. We keep blaming the schools. We keep blaming everything except the one thing nobody wants to look at: the way we have been raising them. This is the part that hurts. Because the deepest expression of love in Japanese parenting is not protection. It is release. The Japanese mother who watches her 6-year-old daughter walk to that train station alone is not unloving. She is the most loving mother in the world. She is doing the hardest thing a parent can do. She is choosing her daughter's future over her own peace of mind. She is saying, "I trust you. The world trusts you. You can do this." And then she lets go. Most of us cannot do this. We have been taught that letting go is dangerous, that trust is naive, that the world is a predator waiting to devour our children the moment we look away. And so we hold on, tighter and tighter, until our children grow up unable to walk through a door without us. But here's what every Japanese parent knows: the door will open one day no matter what. The only question is whether your child will walk through it confident or terrified. So what can we do? We are not in Japan. Our neighborhoods do not have volunteer grandmothers watching every crosswalk. Our societies have not built a culture of shared responsibility for children, but we can start small. We can let our 4-year-old pour their own juice, even if they spill it. We can let our 6-year-old order their own meal at a restaurant. We can let our 8-year-old walk to the corner mailbox alone. We can let our 10-year-old stay home for 1 hour while we run an errand. We can stop finishing their sentences, stop solving their problems, stop rescuing them from every small discomfort. Every time we step back, we tell our child something more powerful than any words. We tell them, "You are capable. The world is not your enemy. You can do this." That message, repeated 1,000 times in small moments, becomes the voice they carry inside them for the rest of their lives. It becomes the voice that says, "I can handle this job interview. I can survive this breakup. I can raise my own children one day. I can live my own life." That voice does not come from protection. It comes from trust, now. Remember the Japanese proverb I promised you at the beginning? The one that explains everything, here it is. Kawaii ko ni watabi wo saseo? If you love your child, send them on a journey. The journey in this saying is not a vacation. It is the act of letting them go. Letting them struggle, letting them be uncomfortable, letting them fail and recover, because the parent will not always be there. And the only true gift you can give a child is the certainty that they do not need you to survive. The Japanese mother sending her daughter to the train station is not gambling with her daughter's safety. She is investing in her daughter's future. Every step her daughter takes alone is a step toward becoming a whole, capable, fearless adult. And maybe, just maybe, that is the real secret. Maybe the bravest thing a parent can do is not hold their child close, but to look at them and trust them and let them go. Now I have a question for you, and I want you to think about it carefully before you answer. If your child came to you tomorrow and said, "Mom, Dad, I want to walk to the store by myself," what would you say? Yes, Or no, tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to know where you stand. If this video changed how you see parenting, even a little, share it with someone who needs to see it. The world has enough fear. Let's raise a generation that knows how to walk through it. See you in the next video.